let's see, what units do I have up here? I have, oh, I know, okay, fine, let's do per, well, let's see, no, we have day in there, right? So let's see, everything's a measure of, so here I have ounces, and ounces is a measure of what do we call this? Of mass, right? Or it's kind of weight, but really kind of mass, okay? So we can also do, so I have ounces and I have feet, which is length. So let's have a measure of volume. So let's say gallons, okay? So here, I'll change this to something a little weird. So let's say that I have ounces per feet squared per gallon. By the way, when you do your sheet, make sure you use exactly the same notation. So like for gal, we use little GAL, right? For gram, little g, right? So use exactly the same notation. That's part of the credit. So like liter is a capital L, right? Like there.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So there's an example similar to that. And just to make sure that we understand this, this would be the same as this per feet squared per gallon. Okay, so those two units would actually be the same. This is really just algebra. This would be the same as, let me just turn it another way. This would be the same as ounces per gal per feet squared. Okay, so all those would be the same. And the point is here just that A over B times C, let me fix that. Is actually the same as A over B over C, and that's the same as A over C over B. Okay, so I mean, we need to understand a little bit when doing the unit analysis, namely the little bit of algebra that involves how you cancel out fractions and how fractions work. You're sort of stuck with that, okay? And let's say that we're going to convert this. Okay, so I'm converting this weird unit here. So I'm just going to write in the units here. So ounces per feet squared times gallon. Okay, and let's convert this to, let's see, we had grams per meter. So let's keep that part the same. So we'll say grams per, this will be meters squared per, and so gallons like liter, let's say liter, right?
Yes.
Okay. So everything's sort of in the right, it's sort of the right kind of objects, right? We have a length, we have a mass. So ounces and grams are both a kind of mass. Feet and meters are both a kind of length, and liters and gallons are a kind of volume, right? So it sort of makes sense to do this conversion.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then we sort of have to see from our table now, whether or not I can do this in 3 things. Maybe I actually end up needing 4 here, the way this is. So actually, yeah, let me change this because, you know, I haven't actually thought this through. I'm just making it up on the fly. So let me just change this to just meters and feet instead of having the square there. That way I think I have enough spaces, because I think otherwise I wouldn't have enough spaces. So
yeah, because you need to do the other one twice when it's squared.
Yeah, I mean, the way we do it,
Yeah.
If you were doing it by hand, you'd probably just put squares in there. But yeah, the way we do it, that's true. Okay, so we need here to get from ounces to grams. I need to get from feet to meters, and I need to get from gallons to liters. And let's just check our table to see that we have those things, right? And I'm pretty sure we do. So yeah, so I have ounces to grams are here, right? And I have feet to meters. Feet to meters are obviously there, and gallons to liters are right here, right? So I have all those things here in my table, okay? So now we want to play this little game. Let me just use this cell to draw stuff, right? Namely, I'm just going to play this game where I try to cancel out units. So really, when I do these problems, I just think about the units and don't worry about the values at all. So I have that, right? In the end, I want this. That's what I want, right? And I need to go about somehow getting from the thing to the left, from the thing on the left to the thing on the right, right? So first I'm going to take care of, I want to replace the ounces with grams, so to speak, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have my ounces over feet. Here, I'm sorry. I'm not very fast at typing, so you have to forgive me there. Okay. And so I want the grams on top and I want to get rid of the ounces, right? So the thing I'm going to multiply is going to be grams over ounces, right? And whatever sort of conversion like this that I do, where it's just one unit over another unit, I need those units to be on the same row of a table, right? So in this case it's here, right? I have grams and ounces on the same row, right? So that's sort of what I need here, okay? All right, and then when I do this, right, what I end up with, it may be easier if I actually did this by pencil or something, or by whiteboard, but I'm going to try doing it here. Let me see. So what happens when I do this is I basically cancel out these ounces, like there and there. All right, so those get sort of struck out, right? And my final unit here will be, right? Let's see, did those? Yeah, you see it over here. You don't see it here, but you see it down here where the strikeouts going through the ounces, right?
Yes.
And so what I'm left with as the units here will now be grams over feet times gallons. And I haven't done anything with the gallons or feet, but I've gotten rid of the ounces and replaced it with grams, right? So that's like a good start, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see if I can have any luck making this part more readable. And I'm not sure what to do. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. Sorry, give me just a second to see if I can remember how to do something.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say that's, and I'm gonna try this. That doesn't work. I'm gonna try this. There we go. Okay, so that's what I wanted. Okay, so there. All right, so that's like our first little bit of the calculation. Then I want to come down here to the next line and do the next little bit of the calculation down here. That'll be what I want to do. Whoops. Okay. What did I just do there? Oops. Okay, let me try that again. Almost did it. Okay, push enter. Okay. So, but here what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to do this grams per ounce, right? That's the upshot of this, right? That's what I'm going to put here. Okay, so I'm going to fill in these blue things before I do anything else. I'm not going to even do anything else. Okay, let's see if you can help. So now let's sort of replace this feet by liters, right? So what do I want to do there? Let me make this bigger so we can see this. All right, so now I'm at grams per feet per gallon. So I'll just rewrite that little part, grams feet times gallon. Okay, and now what do I want? Now what sort of, I want to multiply by something, right? So that I replace the feet by meter, so that my units will end up being grams per meter times gallon. Want my units to end up being that, right? Yeah. So I want the feet to cancel out, and I want to replace it with a meter, right? So like, what do I want in the bottom here?
On the bottoms, you want no, because when that both, I know on top you're gonna want the feet and the gallons.
Okay, but we're just doing one at a time.
Yeah.
So here I want.
Okay, that's the part where I'm confused. You do it. Okay. So then I guess does it matter if you take feet or gallons?
Well, yeah, because I'm saying what I want here. I'm just trying to take care of the meters and feet, right? So that's all I'm trying to deal with here. Right. Yeah. I mean, you can do it in whatever order you want. I have to pick an order here, right? So I'm going to do feet on the top and meters, right, on the bottom, right?
Yes.
And so that way this feet, so remember this is the denominator here, right? So this feet, right, will cancel out. Okay, go away thing. Right, so I'm going to go put the strike through in there. It's going to cancel out with that feet there, right? Okay, and again, to see it canceled out, you have to come over here and look there, right? But what I'm going to be left with, so let me push enter here, right? If you come over here and look here, right, then I've got so I start off with grams per feet per gallon, right? And so now I've got grams, and I'm canceling out the feet, right? The gallon doesn't change, but now the meter, right, it's on the bottom, right? It's on the denominator here, so it becomes meter per, times gallon down there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the next thing I want. I want this feet per meter, right? That's the thing I'm multiplying by there, right? So feet per meter, that's what I want there. Okay. And let's do the last one then. So the last one, same idea. So now my current units are now gallons meters times, oh, not gallons, grams to meters times gallons, right? And what I want to multiply by something. Let me just put that in there like that. So something over something, right? And what I want to end up with is grams over, so the meter stays there, and now I want liters, right? So that's what I want in the end. Oops, okay, well here it is here, right? Okay. So what I need to multiply here, I'm wanting to get rid of the gallons and replace it with liters. So what do I need to multiply by right there?
We're getting rid of, what we want to use the, oh wait, where I'm
Right,
lost.
so right here, you see where I am?
Yeah, we're trying to go now. Do we have the liters already?
No, what we have
No.
right now is we have
This is-
grams over meters times gallons, right? This is what
So
we
we
have right
want the
now.
liters.
So I want liters where? Do I want it on the top or the bottom here?
You want the, where I am so
Right, when I'm,
with the, you want it on the top, right? No.
don't I want the liters to be on the bottom over here at the
Yeah,
end?
yeah, you want it on the bottom.
So I want the liters on the bottom.
Okay.
And so that means I want the gallons on the top, right?
Yes.
And then that's also clear because that means they will cancel here, right? Because this is on the denominator here, right?
Yes.
So here I'm going to strike through there, right? And I'm going to come, and then so that's the denominator. This is the numerator, right? So those two things will cancel, which is what I want. All right. And again, to actually see the strike through, you have to come look at it over here. All right, come here. Oops, it didn't work. Hold on, let me try that again. Okay, so highlight, strike through. Do that. Okay, there we go, right? So the gallons that are on the bottom here cancel out with the gallons on the top, and that leaves me just liter on the bottom, right? And this is the right unit that I end up with, right? Grams per meters times liters, right? Which is what I want. Okay, and that's actually what I wanted, right? That's my final unit that I wanted to get to. Right? Okay, so it's really this cell here that indicates what our thought process, right? So this is kind of the cell you want to concentrate on, right? So, you know, like here I wanted to get from ounces per feet per gallon, so this unit here, right? And so the first thing we decided to get rid of was the ounces and replace it with grams, because that's what I want to end up with, right? So we multiplied by grams over ounces. That way the ounces on top here cancel with the ounces on bottom here, and I'm left with grams on top, right? So I'm just reviewing what we did, right? And so then our unit is now grams per feet per gallon, and now I want to get rid of the feet and replace it by meters. So the feet is on the bottom here, so I multiply by feet over meters, so that the feet on the top here cancel with the feet on the bottom there, right? And I'm left with meters on the bottom, so I end up with grams per meter per gallon, like that, right? And now same idea again. I got the gallons on the bottom. I want to get rid of those and replace it with liters on the bottom. So I multiply by gallons over liters, right? And so do that, right? So here my unit is, the ratio I'm multiplying by here is gallons per liter, right? That's my thing there, right? So it's this one, right? Just want to make sure you see where everything's coming from, right? So that's this one right there, right? And then here I have, this one came from right there, all right? And this one came from right here, right? It's actually that multiplication right there. Okay, either there, right? Okay, so that's where those came from. And now I don't have to really think much. I need grams over ounces. So I equal sign, because I'm going to put a formula in, right? And I come up here and I find my row with grams and ounces. So they're right here, right? And I want grams over ounces. Oops, I need to scoot over a tad, right? There, right? So I got the grams on top, ounces on bottom, right? And that's what I want. So that's what I would want, right? And so now I want feet over meters, right? So now I come up here and here's my row with meters and feet. And I want feet on top and meters on bottom, right? Like that. Okay, and then I want gallons over liters. So again, equals, and I come up here and I find my gallons and liters. Where are they? Where's gallons? There we go, gallons and liters. There we go. So gallons over liters, right, is what I wanted. So like that. Okay.
And then you
So-
just times them all.
Now, yeah, including that square up there, right? So yeah,
Yes.
so now you would multiply all those together. So equals. Now, of course, I'm not going to get a green thing here, right? You know, this is that self-grading sheet. But
Yeah.
of course, I changed the problem, so I messed up the self-grading part of it, right? So it's gonna complain that I have a mistake, right? But that's all right. So in this case, this would be what we would get, right? And we know. And sorry, let me squeeze this up so we can see that better. All right, and then we know here, this unit here is going to be the final unit we wanted here, right? So there'll be grams per meters times liters. Okay, like that. Does that make sense? Sort of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I understand the process now. I wasn't sure before, like, do I try to do two at once or them separate?
No,
Then-
yeah, no, the reason we have it set up like this, you do one thing at a time. And that's the reason for that weird one. I mean, this one did have feet squared, right? That's the reason you use like feet over meter twice, right? It's because you literally
Yeah.
just do one of those things at a time, right? If you were doing it on your own by hand, you would probably just do feet squared over meter squared, right? So you would do that in one thing instead of two, right? But
Yes.
the way we're setting it up so you actually would do two separate things there. So literally just every one of these things should have a single ratio coming from that table up there. And you know, and that ratio should be on the same row, right? So the number,
Yeah.
the numeric part should be the same for all these, right?